Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to IITC channel. In this module, in this presentation, we are going to see a very important element number 11 of safety management system. Likewise, you might have seen in other elements, there are different number of elements in safety management system, sometimes 6 elements, sometimes 8 elements, sometimes 10 elements, sometimes 12 elements, sometimes 15 elements in safety management system. It varies from company to company. This does not mean number of elements will decide the strength of safety management system or the safety management system is strong. The intention of more number or less number will never define the safety management system is good, proactive or bad. In every safety management system, all the aspects related to plan, do, check, act for safety should be covered. For the age of the team, for age of the group, I have intentionally chosen 15 elements of a safety management system so that I can give you complete information so that you can take it to your management so that you can design your own safety management system. Okay guys, so now element number 11 is hazard analysis. Guys, we are going to see these points but not limited to. We are going to see many more things, but these are the mandatory. Different hazard identification tools. What are different hazards identification tools? What is the objective of hazard analysis? Sometimes this is known as a HAZAN. Qualitative risk assessment. What is a qualitative risk assessment and what is a quantitative risk assessment? We will not discuss how to be done. There is a different video I have made for qualitative risk assessment. You can go in IIT's channel, you can find out qualitative risk assessment. And there is a different video of probably 10 minutes video for quantitative risk assessment for the beginner, not advanced. If you are a beginner, I would request you to please go and see what is a quantitative risk assessment, what is IRPA, what is LSIR, what is PLL, what is FN curve. I am just explaining you which is the best hazard identification tool and when hazard analysis to be done. What is the right time to do the hazard analysis? Guys, I hope you are excited. Let us go through that. My humble request for you to please subscribe the channel and please send the link of this video to your friends. Guys, you are able to see total 15 elements, 1 to 8 in the previous slide and 9 to 15 in this slide. Number 11 is the bold as well as in the red font. We have explained all the elements and you can find out the video description in IITC channel. You can find relatively. Guys, so what is the importance of hazard identification and analysis? It is the very simple fundamental. The objective is to establish systematic procedure for identification, evaluation and control the hazard in the workplace. REC, recognize, evaluate and control. You can say IEC, identify, evaluate and control of the hazards in the workplace. The reason is if you are able to control the hazard in workplace, that means you are identifying the hazard first, you are removing the hazard second, that means there is a less possibility or no possibility of an unfortunate event, that means accident, that means there is no injury, that means there is no property damage, that means there is nothing unfortunate. What are the hazard identification tools? HAZAN, NVID, OCHID, HIRA, JSA, JRA, FTA, ETA, qualitative risk assessment, quantitative risk assessment, plant safety inspection, spot the hazard. There are many. I can list you minimum 20 or 30 numbers of hazard identification tool, but for you, this is enough. If you want to know more about hazard identification tool, please feel free to put in the comment section. I will come back to you specifically for you. And I am going to give a link of Excel sheet which has got lot of list of all hazard identification tool. You may feel free to download that link. Guys, factory should have hazard identification and analysis in systematic way. Factories should conduct the hazard analysis. The reason is for all routine and non-routine job. You cannot say only hazard analysis to be done only for routine job or non-routine job, because all jobs may carry hazard. We have to identify the hazard, do the analysis, and subsequently we need to identify the appropriate, suitable and sufficient control measure. We have to do the hazard analysis, identification for facility and equipment. Hazard analysis should be done by contractor, employee, by our employee, by competent person, by safety manager, by maintenance manager, or by anybody. Company should make a systematic hazard identification and analysis procedure so that roles and responsibility of each individual is mentioned. Evaluation process must be there, and this should include the activities or work processes should be broken into successive steps where specific hazards are identified. Each and every work has to be identified in successive steps so that we can identify the hazard, identify possible hazards to realize, which can realize, identify all credible consequences of that hazard if realizes, identify possible severity or possible consequence and frequency to calculate the risk as per HIRA, development of countermeasures to eliminate this hazard. We must identify the hazard, we must identify the severity, we must identify the frequency, and then we must identify the control measure to eliminate this hazard, because without control measures, without recommendation, this is zero. And once the control measure is identified, our endeavor should be to remove the hazard, to make the situation safe so that the hazards are dead, it's not live. And then accordingly we have to update your SOP, because SOP is made based on the JSA, based on JHA, based on JRA. What is JSA, JHA, JRA? There is a separate video I have prepared which you can find in IITC channel. Please search it and you can get it. If you want something more specific, please put into the comment section. We will come back to you ASAP possible. Hazard analysis shall be reviewed when there is a change in condition, working condition, machines, main, material, incident, statutory requirement, processes. If there is a new changes to the existing one, we must do the hazard analysis. Now the question is, when hazard analysis to be done? In case of any change or before taking any system in place, before start of a new facility, and statutory requirement, any non-compliance, any accident, any unsafe condition, any unsafe observation, we must do the hazard analysis. Safe work practices must be developed based on hazard analysis, based on JSA, JHA, JRA, that you know guys. Although this module was a small module, but we have seen very critical points, and each point of hazard analysis have been discussed. Our intention is not to give the lot of information which is not constructive. My intention is to give lot of information which is important, which you can get in less time. Now turn is it is your time. You need to answer. Different hazard identification tool. I have mentioned that you can go many tools. There are more than 30 tools are available. I have given a specific checklist, Excel sheet in the description box. You can download it. But for now, you try to emphasize your brain and you identify HAZAN, NEBOSH, OCHID, Qualitative Risk Assessment, HIRA, JSA, JRA, Plant Safety Inspection. There are many more. Objective of hazard analysis: identify the hazard, find out the control measures, implement the control measure. REC: recognize, evaluate and control. Identify, evaluate and control. Qualitative risk assessment means HIRA, HIRA. I have made a separate video for HIRA. Please feel free to find out the HIRA module and go through that. Which is the best hazard identification tool? Any tool which is suitable for your process, plant and people. PPP, plant, process and people. You should get it. There is no so-called one tool is useful for every hazard identification system. No. When hazard analysis to be done, any new system, any management of change, any change in plant, process, people, any accident, statutory requirement, OEM requirement, many more opportunity. When there are things, we have to do hazard analysis. Any incident, any emergency, post emergency, we must do hazard analysis before restart up. Guys, I hope you understand and you this informations were useful for you. If you have any question, query, please put in the comment section so that I can come back to you. Okay guys, thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.